This week, I am going to give my answer to the question that everyone is asking. Everyone, I mean, most everyone I know, and I think you know, and it's not just us, but there's a featured article in Town Hall magazine, a magazine from the right, which says, "Where does Israel go from here?" And the New York Times had an opinion piece. What is the path to peace in Gaza? Everyone's asking these questions, and all the experts are giving their answers. That New York Times opinion piece on what is the path to peace in Gaza asked 10 experts to give their opinions, and listen to what some of them had. Former Prime Minister Ehud Olmert proposed a NATO force. It's never going to happen. Jerome Siegel proposed to rapidly establish a state in Gaza for a 3-year trial. He's got to be kidding. May Pundak and Dalia Scheindlein proposed a Jewish Palestinian Confederation after October 7th. That ain't going to happen. Diane Boodle proposed the establishment of a Palestinian port and airport. All right, so that they can no longer have to make rockets, they can import them. So, what is the right answer? What is going to happen? When is this going to end? And what comes next? My answer is the same answer that Moshe gave to Paro in this Shabbos morning's Torah portion. The portion of Bo finds the Egyptian people suffering from the 9th of the 10 plagues. The plague of darkness has covered the country, and the people can't move, can't cook, can't get about. And so Paro calls Moshe and he says, I give up. You can leave. You can take your people with you. You can take your young and old. You can take anyone and everyone. But you can't take your cattle and your herds. They have to remain behind. Go worship your God. Go do whatever you want. Go wherever you want. But leave the cattle and the herds behind. Sounds like a good deal after 210 years of slavery. But listen to what Moshe says. Moshe says, forget about it. All of our livestock will go along with us. Not a single hoof will remain behind, because we will not know with what we're to worship God until we arrive in the promised land. The sages explain, we do not know how many cattle we're going to need for sacrifices, what kind of animals we're going to need, how many. This is the answer that Moshe gives. Moshe is supposed to be a wise man, a prophet. And yet he says, Va'anachnu lo nedo. We don't know. We don't know what we're going to need. We don't know. Can you imagine Donald Trump ever saying, we don't know? Or our President Biden about anything? And yet Moshe does not hesitate to say, I don't know. We'll find out when we're supposed to worship, what we're supposed to worship with when we get there. Wow. Can you imagine? Moshe doesn't know. And if Moshe didn't know what lies ahead, neither do I, or neither do all of the experts out there. Some years ago, I remember reading a quote from Leslie Gelb that I saved. Leslie Gelb was the president then at the Council of Foreign Relations. He's generally acknowledged to be one of America's most widely respected experts on international affairs. He served as a national security correspondent, an op-ed page editor, and columnist for the New York Times. He was Assistant Secretary of State, received the Pentagon's highest award and the Distinguished Service Award. So what he had to say means something. And here's what he said. I'm not supposed to tell you this. I'm violating the code. I'm giving away the deepest, darkest secret of foreign policy. But even though we experts sound like we know everything, we know very little, especially about the intentions of bad guys and the consequences of war. But since the media keeps treating us like sages and keeps ignoring our horrendous mistakes, we carry on with our game and do a lot of damage. Can you imagine Leslie Gelb, one of the leading foreign policy experts, was telling us that he and all the other experts really know very little, and that time again they've been mistaken in their analysis, and there's no way anyone could be sure of what Israel or Iran and anyone else's intentions really are. He's right, you know. Who knows what the future brings? Who would have imagined that after the disaster of the destruction of the temple, with our entire sacrificial order gone, we would develop rabbinic Judaism that we practice 2,000 years later? Who would have imagined that after the Spanish Inquisition and the expulsion from Spain, that would lead to Jews moving to Israel and establishing the Kabbalah that we study to this day? And who would have imagined that in the 1600s, with all the massacres in Ukraine, that would give rise to Hasidism? And who would have imagined that after the Holocaust, we would have the establishment of the State of Israel? Who would have imagined? We just don't know. We don't know in our lives. We're all living in a strange new world, a world that's so different from any that we ever lived in before. And so we have to accept v'anachnu lo neda. We don't know what we will need to serve the Lord, but serve we must, because the history of our people shows Am Yisrael Chai. We live on forever. That we know. Shabbat Shalom.